Chelsea Football Club's Cole Palmer gets an award for being the best English player of the year. However, there's tears all over the place. Foden fans are angry, Bukayo Saka fans are angry, and Jude Bellingham fans are angry, but we're going to talk about it. Is Cole Palmer overrated, and is Bukayo Saka overhated? We need to talk about it because evidently it's topical and everyone's enjoying it. Furthermore, SDS released the latest podcast, and within SDS, they spoke about the distinction of Cole Palmer and his relationship with Noni. Apparently, there's some tension, and I'm going to have my say because I think the way it was presented was not right. We don't need to do this because Noni Madueke, the very next day in a press conference, is very positive, very nice, and speaking about Cole Palmer like he's a fan, like he's one of us. Furthermore, Christopher Nkunku is now fit, back in the French squad, and he has a lot to say. He doesn't bite his tongue, he's very explosive in his comments, and they're exactly what you want to hear. He has goals, he's setting them out, he's speaking about his injuries, and he's also very transparent in the way he wants to play. But before we get started, we ain't washing hands today, we ain't taking shoes off, we're getting straight into the video. So if you're here, make sure you hit that like button. 1,000 likes is a long way to go. Subscribe. I do read the comment, peeps. Enough of you said it. I'll stop. We need to talk about Cole Palmer because what Cole Palmer has done across a year or across the last 16 months, I've said is the best player in the league. A lot of people got really offended by that. A lot of people have said I'm giving too much hyperbole. And the reason I'm saying that is because nobody you can point in a 16-month span has done what he has done. He has delivered in numbers in the Premier League in 33 games, 22 goals, 11 assists. And I went on this channel and I publicly said, I think we wasted his best year to finish 6th. I said Mauricio Pochettino gave him his best year, but did not give him the infrastructure to have it meaningful. And I did not believe he was going to start the season the way he continued it. And what has he done? 7 appearances in the Premier League, 6 goals, 5 assists. He's been an absolute phenomenon. He has been absolutely special so far. And what has happened recently that has triggered a lot of people? Well, Cole Palmer has received an award as England's best player for the calendar year. Now, we need to talk about this because a lot of people are saying Bukayo Saka deserved that award. Jude Bellingham deserved that award. Philip Foden deserved that award. First thing I'm going to say is, why do you care? This award is meaningless. I've never heard this even be a topic of discussion until this point here. We have never sat here and said, who's going to win England's Player of the Year? Oh my God. Are we going to talk about England's Player of the Year because I think Gerrard deserves it? No, I think Frank Lampard deserves it. Oh no, I think Jude Bellingham deserves it. No one cared. And we don't care. And the reason why this is a topic at the moment is because A, it's the international duty, so there's no games to look forward to. And B, because Arsenal fans are very touchy-feely when it comes to Bukayo Saka being overlooked. And I'm going to tell you something. This is my stance on Bukayo Saka. I think he's a phenomenal. I think he is absolutely special. I think Bukayo Saka's ability to do the basic things to such a high consistent level make him special. He does the things that he's meant to do to such a high degree, and then now he started adding things on top. His movement is amazing. His ability to find space is amazing. His ability to get the ball, run at somebody, change directions as if he's not trying to, and flat foot the player is great. Then we need to talk about his delivery. Set pieces, he's got that. Open play delivery. He puts it on a saucepan as if Aladdin's flying the carpet there. That's how good Bukayo Saka is. He is phenomenal. He doesn't need any additional validation from anybody. But Arsenal fans, you guys are just so triggered consistently, and I don't understand why. Why do you need rival fans' acknowledgement that your player is great? I gave it to you now. But one thing I will say is, why do you need to compare everything that happens to him? Because Cole Palmer has reached a moment in his career now where he's getting so many accolades. He's getting so many great awards. And all I am ever hearing is, oh, but he's not good enough. Oh, you know what? Saka's better than him. Guys, we're not comparing Cole to Saka because in my opinion, Cole's better. Like, I don't even think it's a debate. I think Cole Palmer is a better footballer than Bukayo Saka. But I don't think it's outlandish for somebody to say to me, oh, Alex, I think Saka's better than Cole Palmer. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. I'm going to say, you know what? They're both fantastic players. We're both entitled to our opinion. I'll hear you out. But we're going to agree and disagree with this one. But yet, there is a segment of the fan base that believes that we are absolutely not right in praising our boy And oh my God, how dare you say Cole Palmer is a phenomenal player? He hasn't done what Bukayo Saka has. What has Bukayo Saka done in reality? What trophies can he put his name to? What trophies can he put his name to? Because individuals' accolades, Palmer's had a season that Bukayo has never had in the Premier League. I'll tell you that now. He literally has had a season that he's never had. Yes, he's done it for 3 years, but the way Palmer's going at this moment in time, he's moving like a madman. And honestly, I'm so excited to see where his career and his trajectory goes. And honestly, I'll put my hands up. I did not believe on any level Palmer was going to continue this level. And if anything, the way he's going at the moment, in 7 games in, it's better than he was going last year, which is wild to me. First of all, we need to talk about what was said on SDS. So SDS is a podcast. For those of you that do not know of it, it is a great podcast, right? Very good cast members, a lot of ball knowledge on it, and very entertaining. And I think that's very important, right? Stuff has to be entertaining because everyone's got an opinion, but if it's not presented in a way that you want to sit there and watch it for a consistent period of time, the long form content, you don't want it. However, on SDS, the Chelsea game came up, and Faisal, who I interact with every now and then, very good guy, very knowledgeable, especially on Spanish football. He spoke about Noni Madueke. He said Noni Madueke is a selfish player. He's not a team player. In his head, he is the main guy. One thing I'm going to say is Noni Madueke is very confident. And that confidence scares a lot of people, right? A lot of people look at Noni Madueke and can't handle his self-confidence to believe that he is the best player in his team. I am adamant. I believe if you sit Noni Madueke down and ask him, do you think you're the best player on this team? And do you think the team should be built around you because it'll be the best thing for the team? He will say yes. Why? Because he believes he's so much in his own ability. That is normal. Any top tier athlete to get to the stage that he's on, especially in a forward position, needs to have this cockiness. Some people call it arrogance. I don't believe it's arrogance. I believe it's believing in your own ability. Then the whole notion that Faisal said in regards to he doesn't believe that Noni Madueke is a team player. I'm just going to point out one thing. Noni Madueke has really transformed his work rate off the ball to the point where he's unrecognizable. When he first joined, I remember this, one of the first starts against West Ham, we conceded a goal where Emerson scored. You can go back and watch my review. I said, Noni Madueke, you need to track your runner there. That is unacceptable. At Chelsea, you're not going to get away with that. Period went through. He didn't play for a while. Pochettino did not allow it. And if one thing I'm going to give Pochettino is praise for what the work he put in with Noni Madueke. Noni has really transformed as an individual and as a player. Right? The way he tracks back, the way he works so hard, it is exemplary. In my opinion, Neto doesn't work as hard as him. Mudryk doesn't work as hard as him. Raheem Sterling never worked as hard as him. And any other winger we have in the team does not work as hard as him. Cole Palmer does not work as hard as him off the ball. Noni's application to play the game, it's clicked in his head now. He needs to work off the ball to make sure he plays on the ball because the goals and assists will come due to the way that he plays football. So this whole thing that he's jealous of him, I don't believe that he's jealous of Cole Palmer. I just believe in his head he is not an inferior player to Cole Palmer. Do I agree with him? No, I think Cole Palmer's miles better than him. However, I think Noni's allowed to feel the way he feels. And what I really liked was Noni sat there in an England interview yesterday and spoke about this. Not this in particular, about his relationship with Cole Palmer. And he said one of the lovely things is he's very unique in the way that he handles pressure. He's the same guy off the pitch that he is on the pitch. When things get tough, he keeps his cool. It takes a lot to rattle him. They've played together for years. He knows him very well. And that's why they've got such a good relationship. That's why they interact so well. And for me, I think this is so nice to see because, like I said, Noni's confidence intimidates a lot of people. A lot of people do not like individuals who believe in their own hype and their own ability. So when he comes out and he's just very flamboyant, I don't care, it's not my problem, I'm going to do what I want to do, when he's asking to take penalties, people get triggered by that. People get rattled, and in the moment, people get very angry at it. And they think he's arrogant, but I just think he backs himself. And for me, it's very nice to see this side of him where he's coming out and he's complimenting his teammate for being great, because that's what Palmer is. He's phenomenal and he deserves the praise and the adulations from his teammates. And for me, this is the way to go. I don't think the narrative around Noni Madueke at the moment is very fair, because if other players drop the performances that he's been dropping this year, for example, against Nottingham Forest, I think he had a very good performance. If that was Neto, people would be saying, oh, Neto's finally clicking. I don't like it. I really don't. The final thing we need to talk about is Christopher Nkunku. Christopher Nkunku is a very talented player, and anyone that tells you he's not talented, either A, doesn't understand football, or B, is just looking for clout. Because nobody can look at Nkunku and say, this is not a good footballer. Because he is exactly that. He's a phenomenal footballer, and he's finally back. He can't break into our first team. And why? I've said this before. I just spoke about it in Noni. You need to be good off the ball. You need to be able to sustain a certain level of athleticism and a certain level of impact when we don't have possession. That Nicholas Jackson has, that Nkunku doesn't. Hence, managers will pick you. However, Nkunku has said this. He said, look, my preferred position is to play closest to the goal. He said this on French international duty. I want to play, I respect managers' decisions, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to display that I am good enough to play. Then he also said, another thing he wants to do is make sure he stays fit and sharp and put the injuries behind him, because he believes he's been fit for a consistent period of time. And the next thing is adapt to different systems to make sure that he's suited to play in different positions. That is brilliant to hear. This is somebody that's self-aware. He also went on and spoke about Antoine Griezmann and said, now that he's moved on, there's a spot and there's a place to just try to fill his legacy. He doesn't want to be exactly like Griezmann because it's going to be impossible to be, but he respects what Griezmann has achieved. First of all, if he wants to be as important to Deschamps as Griezmann was, he's going to need to change his work ethic. I think that is going to be imperative. One thing you can say about Griezmann is, whilst his production hasn't always been the best and it's great for Atletico Madrid in stints, he always offers one thing. He runs around like Conor Gallagher. He'll make sure he does his dirty work, and then everything else is a bonus. And managers love that. Players get selected. Yo, I love Joao Felix. One of the reasons Joao Felix doesn't play as much as he should, Joao Felix's production does not outweigh his lack of work rate at times. Genuinely, it doesn't. And Joao Felix does inconsistent application of work rate. He'll be good for half an hour, then he just lets runners go. He'll be good for 45 minutes, then he just stops running and putting in effort for the next 15, 20 minutes. That's unacceptable. You need to be better than that. And for me, the fact that Nkunku is so openly talking about this, I think he's going to have a great period of first team action for Chelsea in the coming weeks. We're going to bring him back. I think there's going to be a period where he's going to play, and we're going to be all very happy that he's playing, because he's a phenomenal player. He's a natural finisher, arguably the best finisher we have at the club. So we can't now, because we have Nicholas Jackson and he's shining, all of a sudden forget our backup striker. He is a very good player, and honestly, give him the minutes, I think he's going to slap a lot of goals. But this was the Kavkas View. I hope you lot enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it enough, there's another video here for you. You could go watch it. It's about Levi Colwill and Fofana's potential injuries, and more topics like this that you would like. Great debate during the international break. Subscribe to the Kavkas View. Peace out. I'm out. Bye.